What's up, everyone? It's one of your hosts, Peter Kim. I'm doing this alone today because Unji had a personal matter to attend to. So here we go. I haven't done a solo pod in a long time, so this might get a little awkward, but let's get into it. So it's Oscar season. I don't know how many of you guys are paying attention to the Oscars, if you even care about movies, film, etc. But I do, and I'm gonna be in a movie that's gonna be coming out in theaters. So I'd love to plug that first and foremost. It's April 4th is the date, and the movie is called A Nice Indian Boy. Those of you who've been listening for a while know that I shot this in Vancouver, and they've been working on it, and now it's getting a wide release. So I'm very excited for the movie and my role in it. I guess because I have a movie coming out for the first time in theaters, I'm actually like excited about the Oscars now. I don't know. It feels like if you were like a casual sports fan, but all of a sudden like you got to play the sport, and then you're like, "Fuck yeah, I'm betting on the Super Bowl." I don't know, something like that. So I don't know if that really reads, but yeah, I'm very excited for this. It's a movie that I shot in Vancouver. It stars Karan Soni and Jonathan Groff. It is a classic rom com in the way, I guess, like, think about what was that? Not Another Greek Wedding. Was that the movie or Big Fat Greek Wedding? Not another. Like it's a parody. But yeah, in that kind of vein where like the other person is meeting the family, and it's about like integrating culture and values. But this one kind of has a twist because it's a gay rom com, and also there's another twist about the Indian boy. But anyway, you guys will have to watch it. It's so it's 89 minutes, guys. Like, when's the last time you saw a movie that didn't drag on? You know what I mean? And I'm not going to give away too much of the movie or really like my favorite parts of it, because I want you guys to watch it and then come back and talk about it, because I want your experience too. Like, there's been some reviewers reviewing it from film festivals and stuff like that, but I don't really care about them. I care about like the people who are buying tickets to watch it, like especially the ones who are going with their families or like going with their loved ones on a date night or something like that. Like, that's who I'm really concerned about. So I would love for you guys to watch this movie when it comes out April 4th, A Nice Indian Boy. Put it in your calendars, and then come back and talk about it and comment on it. And yeah, you could drag me. You can be like, you looked fucking stupid up there. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I just want to hear like what your experience is. Because the only experience I've had is at the festivals. And these festivals are amazing because, you know, it's like real film lovers, right? So they're going to come and really tell you what they thought. So when they like it, I really love it. But it's also film nerds. And, you know, there's the casual consumer that I haven't even like talked to yet, or even like interfaced with on social media yet. So I'm very excited for that. Anyway, so that's why I'm into the Oscars more this year than any other year. Also, I'm hosting a Oscar watch party. This is the first time I'm doing anything like that. I've been getting a lot of hosting gigs lately, and I don't know what that says about me as a comic. I used to think like getting hosting gigs was bad, or doing hosting gigs was bad. It's like you're not a real comedian, you're just like the MC. But I've kind of changed my tune on that. Like, I think hosting an event or a gig or a party or anything like that is a really tough job. And like, as you notice, like hosting the Oscars, Conan's going to do a great job, I'm sure. But like, some people in the past have hosted these type of events, and you see them clearly struggling. Not naming names, Asian comedian, but whatever. But we were all there last year. But yeah, so it is a tough job, and you have to keep the thing moving, and you have to keep the pace of it. And people are ADHD as fuck these days, and they just want to be in their phones, or they want to be, you know, doing their drugs or whatever, like smoking weed or doing anything but sitting, you know, at that event or fundraiser, God forbid. So I'm I'm very like, I think that the people who do this thing well, it's a real skill. Like, now I wouldn't say more. It's different than just being able to write jokes and deliver them and timing. It's like being on your feet and also reading the room and also being able to like have pacing and delivery and immediately create like a inside joke with your audience. It's not quite crowd work. It is, but it's also so much more than that. Anyway, so I'm hosting the Oscars at this private event, and it's paid. It's a paid gig, and I'm excited for it. I'm missing my own friend's Oscar party because I'm doing this, but like I don't know, like I have to work, right? Like I like to work, and it's missing the Oscars with friends. Like that's not really a big deal. Anyway, so. Oh, maybe I'm just telling myself that. Sorry, Zach. I want to be there. Anyway, let's get into the Oscar nominations and like my picks for it. And I will say, just as a warning, I didn't watch every single movie. So like, if you haven't watched every single movie, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you could have your opinions about what the movie feels like or looks like just from the trailer too. Obviously, you won't be able to make like a crazy informed decision, but there's a lot of pressure sometimes, especially the Best Picture, because there's like 10 nominees. And it's hard for us to go out and what the hell's going on with my hair? It's hard for us to all like go out and watch these movies if you're not getting screeners. And sometimes like for us industry people who get screeners, we don't sometimes get all the screeners either. So we have to like track down every movie or like go to some kind of talkback or whatever. And it is hard. It is difficult for a casual consumer to sit there and really go through every single Oscar nom and to have that much of a informed opinion. So I understand where you guys are. And just letting you know that like you don't have to be a totalist or like a completionist to enjoy the Oscars. Like you can still enjoy the Oscars. And if something you didn't watch wins or it's getting a lot of like nominations, you feel it might stir you to go like check it out on DVD or on streaming or rent it on SVOD or whatever. So like I think it's a great marketing tool for those like independent movies or those movies that have less like studio budget or marketing budget to get to all the eyeballs. The Oscars is a great way to like uplift those smaller movies at a like national scale, and all the buzz around it helps it and stuff like that. So I'll get into it with the first one here. So the first one we're going to do is Best Director. Let's start with this. Now, the director is the de facto head of the entire movie, right? Like he or she has to, or they have to have a vision, first of all, a point of view on how to make your movies, not just like shoot the movie, but like make it, to put your thumbprint on it. Also, you have to be the lead of all the departments, hair, makeup, design, VFX, script department, etc. Like all of it. It's not just like getting the actor to say the lines the way you want it. Like there's so much more to being a director than that. So I think the director role is such a like important role in filmmaking, and oftentimes people just think like, oh, it's the guy who like said action, but it's more than that. So let's go into it. The Best Director category nominees are Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, Jacques Audiard for Emilia Perez, Sean Baker for Nora, Coralie Fargiet for sorry if I'm butchering names, for The Substance, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown. Okay. So I will say I've watched 4 out of 5 of these movies. The only thing I didn't watch was The Brutalist. Why didn't I watch it? Probably because it looks sad and long, and I'm just like not in the mood. You know what I mean? Like the sad and long like worked when we were like, I don't know, a country with a balanced budget. Like right now, it just feels like, what? I don't have time for this. So that's why I didn't watch it. But it is getting a bunch of awards. Brady Corbet won the Golden Globes, I believe. He did win a different award for director for his movie. So there's buzz around him. Now, of the 4 movies that I watched, and by the way, John Chu hasn't been nominated for Best Director for Wicked. are you fucking kidding me? Like, not just getting Cynthia Erivo to sing on key flawlessly while being strung up in the air, dangling her, throwing her ass around on a broom, and then also to milk tears out of her like weird dance performance scene where she's being othered, and then Galinda like like, come on, he should have at least got the nom. Like, people are like, oh, it's a musical, it's not serious. Like, how much more serious can a musical get? Dancing, singing, acting. What the fuck? Like, all three? That's the triple threat. That's what we used to do, the golden age of cinema, and then it became like The Brutalist. But anyways, of the ones I saw, I really loved what Jacques Audiard did with Amelia Perez. Now, a lot of people did not like Amelia Perez. I understand that. As a film, it did not deliver for me. The story was boo-boo, but vision-wise, direction-wise, I thought this was next level. Not even next level, like next plane. Like, not better, worse, like just different. It was so different that, it's, I don't know. Like, sometimes it's like, is it arts, is it entertainment? What's the difference? As art, it made me feel, think, it shocked me, it titillated me, excited me, as entertainment, it really like was down the drain. So take that with what you will. Sean Baker for Anora. Listen, Anora was an incredible film, paced incredibly, funny, great performances. Mikey Madison, mwah, like that last scene. Oh my God, the final scene when she, I don't want to spoil it, but it was just like the emotional break of it. I was not ready for it, and then it hit me, and then the blackout, and I was just like, again, that it was a lot her, but Sean Baker brought that out of her. I'm sure I heard some things about like there not being a intimacy coordinator in a movie about sex worker. That felt weird, but like, I don't know. Great movie. I don't know if it's best director. The Substance. Oh my God. Okay, so Demi won SAG Award, Critics' Choice. I mean, she's cleaning up, so it seems like she's on the run for the Oscar. We're not at actress right now, but The Substance. Coralie, I don't know. I don't think you're gonna get this, but you deserve it. I think you deserve this award, best director. Not because it like usually always goes to a white man, but it's what she did with this. It was written, directed by her. Her vision singularly. It got so camp ridiculous at the end. I was dying. I was like on the floor in this motherfucking theater in the Los Feliz 3, which is the disgusting floor. No shade, but like, there's a lot of popcorn and garbage on there. Anyway, I'm on the floor rolling around, and I'm like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Meanwhile, 5 minutes before, I was the most grossed out I've ever been watching some kind of body gore. And then just titillated by the comedy of it, the seriousness of the subject, and how widespread this issue about you, the seeking youth and vitality and beauty and doing whatever you have to do to get there to stay relevant. Like, it's such a Hollywood story, while not really being about Hollywood per se. Like, it was just so gorgeous. It was outsider looking in, a lot like Jacques Audiard. He's not a Mexican. He didn't use Mexicans. He didn't shoot in Mexico, but like it was about Mexico. Like it was kind of like that, but like, which is audacious. I just thought Coralie did such a nuanced, sophisticated job with that. And then James Mangold, he did a great job. Complete Unknown really was, for me, less of a biopic and more of a montage of Timothée Chalamet performing as Bob Dylan. So, like, cool. I thought the lady who played, I forget her name now, I'm sure we'll read it, who played the woman, oh, God. I'm, like, forgetting all the names. Bob Dylan's, like, inspiration. You know who she is if you're, you know who she is. Anyway, I thought it was really a wonderful film, good performances. Timothy won the SAG Award for that. Yeah, okay. Let's move on. All right, let's go to Best Supporting Actress. Here we go. Zoe Saldana, Emilia Perez, she won the Golden Globe. I thought she did an excellent job. The way she emoted in this film and the weight she carried about the decisions she had to make about about her client, and like, yeah, yes, I see it for her. And then there's Isabella Rossellini for Conclave. No, she was in the movie for 6.5 minutes, like GTFO. No, thank you, Isabella. Thank you for coming, representing Italia. We love you, the Rossellini family. But no, that's not this time, hon. Next one. Okay, Ariana Grande, Wicked. Listen. Did she do a good job? She did. It was incredible. But, no, I'm not going to say but. I'll say and. Was it that, like, mind-blowing? Let's just like put it in, like, was it Zoe Saldana? Because Ariana Grande, I think we're getting a lot of lift from her being a pop star and like Pete Davidson's ex-girlfriend to doing this role. Like, she's always been that Broadway girly, but like we've never seen her do it. Like, the public hasn't seen her in that way. So when she popped off like that, we were like, oh, okay. She's a comedian. She's funny. She's got timing. She's character. But I don't know if we would have thought that if we had like seen her act before. You know, like she did a good job, but she's like if you see her on SNL, she's pretty good. She's funny. Like, she was doing that. She was doing SNL plus for me. So I think she did a great job. I don't know if she deserves it. Let's move on. Monica Barbero, complete unknown. That's the lady who played. I want to. What was her name? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Deborah Vance from Vance Refrigerator. I'm mixing like 3 different shows together. Monica Barbero did an amazing job. I think she would have taken this home if it wasn't for Zoe Saldana being in the same category. I'm just sorry, Monica. You did an amazing job. You really, really you dove into that character. You did her voice, honey. Like, you sang as her. I heard like you went and did like lessons upon lessons to get here. Like, brava. Give her all the work. I don't know about the Oscar. The statue, I think, will go to Zoe Saldana. And then there's Felicity Jones, who, for me, she's kind of like always been a little like, I don't really recognize her, but she's in the Brewlist. I didn't see it, so I'm not gonna speak on her performance. Okay, let's move on to Best Supporting Actor. This is a good one. Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain. Now, A Real Pain was written and directed by Jesse Eisenberg. It felt like it. It really felt like it. Now, what do I mean by that? It was verbose. It was a lot of dialogue, which felt natural and at times funny. I think the words that he wrote for Kieran really elevated and made it Kieran. But he also did. He played Roman from Succession, just like this type of Roman. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. He was good. I think Kieran was excellent. Yuri Borisov. Now, this is the one that I want to win. Yuri Borisov in Anora, he played the like bodyguard guy who like held her down, but like in a safe way. And I know it sounds crazy if you didn't watch it, but you get it if you watched it. He was holding her down, and then he held her down, like metaphorically, after everything went to shit. And then, of course, that final scene. Now, do I think he deserves it because I think he's hot and I want to lay with him? 100%. Is that enough for him to win? No. So Yura, what do I keep doing that? Yura Borisov, bravo. This is a similar situation, I think, to the Monica Barbero situation from A Complete Unknown. Yura, you did an amazing job. Get all the jobs, honey, but this ain't the one because Kieran was in this category and Kieran just did more. Okay? Jeremy Strong from The Apprentice. I don't know. let's move on. Edward Norton, no, I don't know. Edward Norton, I love, and I think he's just an amazing actor. American History X, I'll never forget that. He was so scary, but also like with so much empathy and depth. In A Complete Unknown, he played this kind of mentory, goofy, corny guy that like is always trying to help Bob Dylan out. It wasn't for me. The performance was good, but I don't think it really stacks up to Yura or Kieran for me. Guy Pearce from The Brutalist. I love Guy Pearce. He's been in the news a lot for a lot of controversy around, getting allegedly getting blacklisted, etc. Apparently, he's really amazing in The Brutalist. Again, did not see it. So the fact that The Brutalist keeps getting nominated, it seems like I should watch it. But yeah, I don't know if I will. And no one from The Conclave was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. That's why? What? Okay. That's weird. Anyway, Best Actress category, we have Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez. Now, if you've been hiding under a rock or just not interested in anything arts and entertainment this year, you wouldn't know this, but she plays the titular character, Amelia Perez, in Amelia Perez. She is trans, and she is problematic. She has had a lot of tweets resurface about just horrible things. I'm not even going to get into what they are, but they're like horrible things about Black people, Africans, Koreans. And this is when I peeked up. I was like, I know you're not talking about my country. I know you're not talking about my... The fuck did you say? It wasn't actually that bad, but like she did. It was, we got some strays. And then she was being very anti-Muslim. Like, it's just a lot of stuff. And she's like, I'm trans, so I get being oppressed, and that's not what I meant. I'm like, girl, you could be trans and be awful, okay? Look at Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah. Anyway, so was she deserving of Best Actress beyond all this nonsense? I thought she was captivating. I thought she did a great job. She is unfortunately up against a powerhouse category this year. Okay. Again, forget all the the problem stuff. I'm just talking about the performance. She's up against Demi Moore in The Substance. She's up against Cynthia Erivo in Wicked. We just spoke on her. Fernanda Torres, I'm still here. I'm getting a lot of I'm hearing a lot about her performance in this. She won the Golden Globe. It doesn't seem like she's going to win the Oscars, unfortunately, because I don't think she's picked up any other awards since then. And it's in the movie. It's a movie called I'm Still Here. I still haven't watched it. So it's like part of the Brutalist category where I'm just like, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. And then there's Mikey Madison, of course, from Anora, who was absolutely brilliant. Now, there's Carla Sofia, Demi, Cynthia, Mikey. Those four are like way up there in performance this year. While I want Cynthia Erivo to win, because I think what she did for this singular film was beyond acting, beyond performance. It was just the way Black women set the bar so high for us, and we have to like just keep looking at that bar and be like, we'll get there someday. Like, that's what it is, and it's just almost unfair because Demi Moore did an incredible job, and the prosthetics she had to get into with that from the finger to the the hunch. Like, please go watch The Substance. Probably my favorite movie, and we'll get to it, but like Demi Moore, I think will get it, and I think she deserves it. She did an incredible job, and a lot of times for when there's like an elder statesperson, if you will, in the category. Not that they should give it to her because she's been waiting around or whatever. Look at Glenn Close. But she's just been a figure of Hollywood for so long. And everyone else is so new. Carla, even Cynthia, who's been around for a while. But like Carla, Cynthia, Fernanda, like Mikey, like it feels like an uneven category in that way. So I do think this is skewed towards Demi, and I would be happy with Demi. Although, again, asterisk, I think Cynthia and Mikey Madison were amazing. Okay, Best Actor. I care a little less about this, but let's go. Coleman Domingo and Sing Sing, did not watch that yet, but I love Coleman Domingo. I love that there's an out gay man, a black man out here just really eating it up. Ray Fiennes, Conclave. No comment on the things I've been hearing allegedly about Ray Fiennes. What he did in the Conclave, I don't think it's worth Best Act. I think he's done better work. Voldemort. I'm kidding. But I do think he's done better work, and I just don't think this one's for him. I didn't see it for him. Sebastian Stan in The Apprentice. Again, didn't watch The Apprentice. I hear he did a really great job. He recently won for that other movie where he's playing that guy with the disfigured face. So I don't know if it's going to go for him. Timothy Chalamet, Complete Unknown. Listen, I think he did a great job. Will he get the Oscar for this? It's either going to be him or Adrian Brody in The Brutalist. I think the Oscars tend to be more Adrian Brody vibe. Although I do think he had one for The Pianist already. Was that The Pianist? What was that Holocaust movie? Anyway, this is another movie. I'm sure he kills it in. It might go to Timothy because he's like the darling right now, but Adrian Brody would be the safe choice for the Oscars. Now, Best Picture, let's get to it. We have Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, Wicked. Now, interesting that Nickel Boys has not gotten really nominated for any other big category, although I do keep hearing it's a great movie. So I'm going to watch that too. Out of all these movies, yeah, there's some I haven't watched. Like Brutalist and I'm Still Here and Nickel Boys I haven't watched. I have watched the rest. Of all the movies I've watched on this list, the movie that I am least excited about winning is Emilia Perez. Again, incredible direction, choreography, even DPing, like gorgeous shots. I don't know if it's Best Director. I mean, Best Picture, ergo Best Picture. Best Director, Best Picture. What the hell am I saying? I don't know. If it's not Best Picture. Anora, I think, has a chance. That would be an upset, bitch. Like, if Anora got this, it would be such a fucking upset that, like, I would not be upset. But I think everybody else would be. Wicked is the one where it's like, it won that, like, stupid award, that fake award on the Golden Globes where they were like, it made the most money, you know? So, like, we keep rewarding capitalism. But it was a good movie. I don't think it was Best Picture worthy. Now, that brings us down to A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, and The Substance. Listen, all the movies were good. Dune Part 2 was incredible. We cannot... Dune Part 2 is not getting enough love. Part 1 was the setup for 2, bitch. Like, 2 was it. The fight scene at... Anyway. Of all of these, I think I'm going to go with The Substance. I really am. I think it not only is it about Hollywood, but it's about women and what we do to women in Hollywood. And it was written and directed by a woman, a French woman. Ugh, the French know how to make a fucking film, bitch. And not just that, it was funny and artistic and beautiful and searing and paced incredibly. The music, like, it just is a film experience that deserves Oscar. And I know there's a lot of people who still haven't watched The Substance, so I really do think that if The Substance wins, it'll not only open up, like, indie films again to, like, this bigger audience, it'll also open up, like, craving like genre bending, because The Substance is very much like, is it satirical, is it humor, is it gore, is it horror, is it, what is it, sci-fi? So, like, it doesn't know. It's kind of like Beyonce, where she's just like, fuck genres. Like, I'm just doing what I want. And that's what I really want to win, because all the other ones kind of like fit neatly into their genres. And this one just doesn't. Emilia Perez also doesn't, but like, again, not worth Best Picture, in my opinion. So I'm gonna vote for The Substance. I think it should win. I think it'll be great for Hollywood. It'll bring back that like $30 million movie target, where like people are gonna invest in smaller movies again. Sorry to Dune Part Two, amazing filmmaking, but like I don't know if we need more. Like, you did it. Like, we don't need more copies of Dune Part Two. You know, like, and if Dune Part Two won, that's what studios do. They just like copy. They go like, oh, it worked once, it's gonna work again. It's like they forget how fast we are to move on from trends. And I think a trend to uplift movie making like The Substance is a trend worth embarking upon, especially now when like the fucking industry is cratering right before our eyes. I think this would be like a signal from the industry saying like, hey, we still got shit to say, and we still have ways to say it, and we don't have to make it all like Marvel or like Doom Part Two or whatever the fuck, right? So it doesn't have to be like $100 million, $200 million movies that like we have to recoup via insane marketing and like impossible foreign sales. Like, let's get back to the joy of the storytelling itself, as opposed to like storytelling for money, which just sounds fucking ugly and disgusting. But anyway, that's all the major Oscar picks on my part. I hope you enjoyed that. We've never done this on Two Kims or Ajma. Like, we stay like current, but like we're not really like pop culture current like that. And yeah, let us know if you liked this, if you enjoyed the breakdown of this, if you are even interested in the Oscars and your picks. I would love to hear about your picks and how much you agree or disagree. I love to hear like what your, because like film is one of those things, like in art, like you want to disagree, right? Like you don't want to all agree and be like, that's my favorite movie. Like, that's so stupid. What's the fun of that? Like, the whole point of art is to bring yourself and your experience to it and react to it. And that's why it's so cool, because everyone has their like angle into the art, and it reflects back something that is bigger than us, and that's something you could attach to. So like, we ought to be discussing how it affects us differently, Anyway, so happy Oscars. Thank you so much for listening. This is a shorter episode, but I'm doing it alone, and my mouth hurts. So love you guys. We'll be back with NG next week. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Bye.